Try to a channel of light fluid. A long time ago, in a different series, I shared with you the fact that narrators are not bound by linear time. We can go forwards, backwards, sideways even. And one very powerful way to do that is to ask, what if? So in this case, what if Ray had selected Ken's card? I sigh and grab Ken's card, trying to ignore its macabre design. I hope the others would forgive me. I take a deep breath and do whatever these mysterious forces obviously want me to do. I place his card next to Virgil's together in my hand. Immediately they start to glow and vibrate. I throw out my other hand to try and keep them from falling, but soon the light envelops everything around me. And I'm falling. How the hell? I touch the card, then there's that flash of light. Now? Trying to find my footing, I take a cautious step forward. The ground is suspiciously soft. I take a deep breath and a confident step, immediately falling over as the floor collapses under my weight. Expecting to fall to my death, I'm pleasantly surprised when I land on a soft, shifting layer of some strange substance. It's almost how I imagine it would feel to walk on a cloud, albeit a dark and stormy one. Using that as a guide, I pull myself up and continue forward with caution, treading as lightly as possible. Can't seem to make any progress. Why would the cards send me here anyway? The occasional soft boom in the distance reminds me of thunder. I wonder if I'm somewhere high up enough to be in the clouds. Ignoring how ridiculous that sounds, I technically have to be somewhere, right? Maybe some kind of mountain? Was New Orleans closer to Appalachian than I thought? It's impossible to tell what direction I'm walking in. I could be going in circles for all I know. Keep walking. Hello? Is there anyone else there? I'm feeling worn out. I should stop and rest. Don't stop. I feel a rush of cold wind behind me, causing nerves to shudder all along my spine. Before I can even turn around, two beams of light pierce through the smoky darkness on either side of me. The air around me begins to vibrate. Images of my impending death start to flood my mind and I'm paralysed. I try to sputter out a few words, refusing to look behind me. No, please. I hear something grunt, sniff around, breathe on my neck. The lights blink. He blinks. Run! But the floor. No, it doesn't matter. If I die here anyway, it won't be because of him. Take a deep breath. In. Out. Taking the first step is always the hardest. But we have to. We snap to attention and dash forward. The earth gathers under us like a loosened rug. Eventually we gain our footing and push away into the darkness. The follows close behind, its burning gaze nipping at our heels. We try to focus on a single point in the void, but it's of no use. The earth beneath us continues to unmake itself with each step. We're not going to make it. No, we must. Gods above. Is this... A beam of light pierces through the black clouds and stretches towards us. So bright it looks like solid gold, like we could reach out and grab it. This feeling, it's been so... It's too late. He's upon me. Just as his claws dig into my back, I feel the warmth of the light touch my outstretched hand. The pain of my severed spine melts away, and I feel myself pulled into its embrace. Well, this is unexpected. I'm on some sort of paved road, but it's so smooth. Perfectly smooth. And really long. Did somebody really lay all of this tarmac by hand? I look up at the lights dotted across the length of the road. They keep going for miles, piercing the night sky like pinholes in a paper lantern. They continue farther than I can see, past the line of trees that surround me on both sides. Feels like the middle of nowhere. A cool breeze pushes past me and through the leaves. It's so quiet I can practically hear each leaf rustling on the branches. It's not so cold that I'm shivering. There's a palpable humidity in the air that reminds me of home. Well, what was my home? Shit. They probably noticed I was gone by now. I have to... I suddenly noticed my shadow grown in front of me as a set of bright lights hurtled towards me. Fuck. He's back? I whip around and get blinded in their glare. What the... I jump out of the way and it zooms past me, stopping a few yards away. The screech echoes through the empty valley. I crack open an eye to see what almost hit me. It takes a moment for the afterimage that's burned into my retinas to fade, but things slowly come into focus. It's just some guy riding some sort of motorbike. A long feline tail hits the kickstand, and the sound of the engine idling fills the space between us. Wait, could it be... It's Ken. He's okay, thank God. I'm glad picking that card wasn't some sort of trick. But why does he look so pissed at me? He stares expectant and I try to compose myself. Hey. Are you fucking slow? Huh? He sneers and revs the motor. I can barely hear him over it. You trying to become roadkill, speed bump? Well, I stutter, not expecting the racially targeted insult. I knew he was blunt towards us earlier, but never outright rude. I center myself and approach him slowly. No, I wasn't actually. He rolls his eyes and sucks his teeth. So you just jump in front of bikes for cheap thrills then? There's easier ways to die, you know. My expression tightens. He smiles, clearly enjoying teasing me. Ah, I see now. You wanted to take someone with you so you'd have some company in the devil's waiting room, right? What a sad, sad little man. Why has he been such a dick? Does he not recognize me or something? Okay, Ken, what the hell is your problem? His eyes go wide, then slowly smolder into a sharp glare. How do you know my name? Huh? What are you... He tightens his grip on the handlebars. Who sent you? Fuck, I sent a detective this far east already? Detective? What are you talking about? He begins backing up his bike and I wave for him to stop. Keep the fuck away from me, man. No, please, we need to talk. Something's wrong. We were just in that place, you know, with the others. He stares at me, eyes searching for something. Something we both knew was true. He has to remember. That wasn't just some dream. Ken, please. He shakes it off and whips the back of his bike around, starting the engine again. Just leave me alone. Ken! My yell gets cut off by the loud rip of his bike's motor, and he leaves me behind in a cloud of exhaust. I choke on the fumes and start to tear up. Watch until his headlights disappear from view. He's gone. Again. God fucking damn it. I was actually glad to see him. I fall back against the railing and slide onto the cold ground, feeling those tears begin to stream down my face. That wasn't Ken. Not the same Ken I knew. He was the first to disappear. He looked straight at me, his eyes full of terror. But just now, his eyes were full of confusion, disgust even. Did those moments between us in the golden place mean nothing to him? My face still hurts from crying over him earlier. Fuck. I wipe my snout, praying nobody else passes by to see this pathetic display. Whatever I'm feeling about Ken right now, I can't stay here. I need to find a town or something. I get up and dust myself off, looking in the direction Ken went. It's a safe bet that it was towards civilization of some sort. Or, at the very least, some sort of rest stop. Don't have any money, but if they're offering work, I'll do whatever it takes until I can figure out where I am and how to get home. Taking a deep breath, I start plodding forward. Being able to see how far the road ahead of me stretched on made this feel daunting. I have no other options. When I looked over the railing earlier, it was a straight 20-foot drop into the wilderness. No ladders. I haul myself and continue on, trying to keep my mind busy to distract from the dull task. I wonder if I'm still in Louisiana. I can tell it's still spring from the sparse new growth in the surrounding nature, so I don't think any significant time has passed. Yet, it doesn't feel like home. It feels off, removed from what I know. It must be really late too. Aside from Ken, there haven't been any other vehicles. This kind of road seems extremely newfangled, so maybe people just don't know about it yet? There aren't many scuffs or tyre marks. This could have been built yesterday for all I know. That thought brings to mind the main source of my panic. Not knowing. I met Virgil, a bunch of unexplainable things happened, I met the others, and then... tired. It's true. I can feel the fatigue hit my body and stop for a moment. Oh, wait, I can't stop now. Not until I can find an exit. Trudging forward for another 30 minutes, I eventually get to a bend in the road with a steep incline. This will bring me closer to the ground, at least. Maybe I could climb down now. I slowly approach and look down from the top of the ramp. I guess I could slide down on my butt. I sit on the edge, holding my tail in my arms and gulp, scooting down an inch at a time. So far, so good. Uh-oh, I'm turning. Before I can stop myself, I do a 180 and catch a rough patch of asphalt, turning my slider into a full-body tumble. I roll down what feels like hundreds of feet before I hit the bottom with a dull thud. Ow, 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 ow. I can't breathe. I'm going to be bruised all over tomorrow. I peel myself off the road and look at my gravitational adversary. It was only a 10-foot drop. Well, at least nobody saw that. What the fuck did I just watch? Busted. I stiffen up. There's someone else here. Turning slowly, I look back over my shoulder. Hello? Is that a possum? It's dark. I can't see who's talking. Looks like it. Kind of rough around the edges. Two voices. I'm outnumbered. This could be bad. I can see fine at night, but only so many feet ahead. All I see are two vague outlines. One bigger, one smaller. Show yourselves. Silence. Some muttering. An affirmation. McCall, turn on your blinders. Half brightness. Roger. Another flash of light, and then... two men, clad in leather and leaning on their bikes. A tall, imposing Otto with a lit cigarette hanging from his lips smiles at me, tipping his hat politely. Across from him is a short, lanky pine marten, arms crossed and expression sceptical. Look friendly enough. After a moment, the otter ashes his cigarette on the sole of his boot and walks over to me. The marten flashes him an exasperated look before shrugging and turning away, scoffing to himself. Hey there, fella, you're lost. This ain't exactly a walking kind of road, boss. Not great for hitchhiking either. You could say that. I'm not supposed to be here. Or rather, I need to find a town. Are you two headed this way? I smile weakly at the marten, who continues to ignore me. Oh yeah, we're still a few miles out from Shamrock. Shamrock? I instinctively cover the pin on my lapel. I'm going to take it off beforehand. The big lug doesn't notice and continues on. Me and Colt just taking a quick smoke break. Colt and I. He waves dismissively at Colt before turning his attention back to me. I promise his bark is worse than his bite. Alright. So, would you mind giving me a lift? I hate to impose, but I'll be happy to. Huh? Isn't that right, Colt? He sucks his teeth and pushes off his bike, headed my way. Stopping just short of stepping on my shoes, he sizes me up while getting right in my face. He's kind of cute, despite being pissed. Just because Jesse has decided to trust you doesn't mean I won't be keeping an eye on you, boss. So, the big guy's named Jesse, huh? I can't say it really fits. Well met, Colt, Jesse. I'll try not to be a burden. Oh, and my name's Gray. Ain't no trouble, Gray. Helping folks out is what we do. Really now? I look expectantly at Colt, hoping he'll fill me in on the details. Instead, he just nods and hops back on his bike, backing up to face the road ahead. That will be difficult, it seems. I follow Jesse over to his bike and try to whisper him discreetly. Is he mad at me? Who? Colt? Ah, he's a little uptight is all. He's right to be careful, especially in these parts. Speaking of, I couldn't help but detect some twang in your voice. You wouldn't have me a fellow southerner, would you? Louisiana, yeah. I pause for a moment. This Shamrock wouldn't happen to be near New Orleans, would it? He blinks a few times before scratching the back of his head. Can't say it is. We're headed towards Oklahoma right now. Texas being back that way. He points behind me. I'll be honest, don't exactly know where Oklahoma is on the map. But I know Louisiana borders Texas on its western side. It's not too crazy a jump in distance. Maybe I got drunk. Imagine that whole mess with the golden place and actually wandered into the wilderness. Still pissed off Ken in my drunken stupor and made him leave, only to bump into me again just now. We both know that makes zero sense. Yep, that's the story I'm going with if anyone asks. My thoughts get interrupted by Colt honking his horn, impatiently tapping his boot against the footrest. Say the chit-chat's the road, you Nancy's. Yeah, always the impatient one, that boy. Go on, Gray, let me have you get on. I grab onto his muscular arm and he pulls me up onto the back of his seat. I slide a few inches down the soft leather until my crotch firmly rests against his rudder. His tail is so thick at the base it acts as a natural spacer between our torsos. I embrace the cone of fluff and shiver at the soft sensation. I purred by accident. So sorry. He laughs, revving the engine a few times as he lines up next to Colt's bike. Hey, no mind, boss. I know my big behind takes up most of the seat. Unless Colt wants to give you a ride instead. He smiles cheekily at the marten, who rolls his eyes, cracking a small smile himself. In your dreams, Jess. Come on. Martin revs a few times and then speeds off into the night, with our bike following suit. Never been on a motorbike before, so I don't know what to expect. We We suddenly lurch forward, our centre of gravity delicately balanced between the two skinny wheels. I feel my stomach turn and bury my face into Jesse's tail, eyes glued shut. With every slight shift in direction, I feel us lean closer to the asphalt, speeding by, threatening to grind my flesh down like a belt sander. Jesse! You say something? No sharp turns, please. He gasps and reduces our speed, the loud engine now a somewhat reasonable hum. Oh, I'm sorry, Gray. We used to speaking of other bikers. Yes, this is your first time then? I nod into his tail. Gotcha. It's nothing like a man's first time on the open road. Really? He shrugs. Well, maybe take a few tries. I guarantee I'll hit you eventually. We stay quiet for a while and I get used to the sensation. Eventually I straighten my back and open my eyes, watching the trees and lights zip us by. He hums to himself, clearly trying to come up with something to talk about. I decide to break the ice myself. So, motorcycles, eh? He laughs heartily and I feel my face get hot, only now realising how asinine that sounded. Well, I mean, I've met more bikers in one night than I've ever seen back home. I didn't know it was catching on. Really? Two is the most you've seen? 3, and yes. Well, me and Cole's both part of the club. What about the third guy? Club just for cyclists? That's rather specific. It's a bit more complicated than that, pal. Motor clubs, well, at least the one me and Cole are part of, I'll keep the roads as safe as can be. I've been lost folk like yourself, reporting accidents, breaking up fights. Fights? Isn't that something the police should be handling? He sighs deeply before continuing. Well, the cops aren't so concerned about folks like me and Colt. Just because you're bikers? Well, not every biker is a good egg, Ray. Plenty of people are just gangsters out for themselves, causing problems for everyone. It's also a bit more than just our occupations that give folks pause. Reckon you already knew that, being from the south and all. I guess. I don't want to be considered slightly above mustelids in this bizarre social food chain anyway. Well, it's easier people to connect dots that aren't really there. I'll admit, I thought he and Cole looked imposing at first. It only took a few minutes of talking to them to know they meant no harm. I wonder if Ken is the latter type of biker. No, there's no way he'd be a criminal. We can't afford to take people for granted. We need to be smarter. I know. A sign of trouble, we run. Understand? Right, survival first. Sound like a true possum. Are you a possum too? I see a glow from the horizon. We're here. Stay left, Jess. Roger. He looks over his shoulder at me and grins. Looks like our time together is almost up, Gray. A melancholic feeling starts to wash over me. I hate goodbyes. You would only know these guys for less than an hour. Must be shown on my face. I see his smile fade through the side mirror. Well, it doesn't have to be goodbye yet. I'll talk to Colt when we're done refueling. You want to go back home, don't you? Yeah. Maybe when we're done with our business in OKC, I can see about setting you up on a ride down south. Can't guarantee you'll be a ride away, but you'll be in good hands. Sure, that seems like a big detour. I bet Colt will want to see the Big Easy for himself. Just got to convince him to add it to our list of cities. Thanks, I'd love to show you guys around. You're awfully generous considering we just met. I guess it might be part of his club's philosophy. And look at me, talking like a local. I can actually claim New Orleans as my hometown. I'll have to deal with my friends chewing me out the second I get back, too. At least I have nice company for the time being. Right. Be cautious. We pull into the driveway of a brightly lit gas station connected to a convenience store. Colt's already filling up his bike, leaning against the pump with a sly grin directed our way. Slowpokes. We creep in next to Colt's bike and Jesse hops off, careful not to knock me over with his tail. No. Can we talk about this already? Speed ain't always the solution. Slow and steady always wins the race. Oh, I don't need to teach you that lesson again. Colt's confident expression falls as his eyes nervously dart between me and Jessie. He walks off in a huff towards the store while Jessie laughs at him. It's Colt, blushing. Oh, I've up the bikes. Yeah, could you follow Colt and grab a few things from inside for me? He digs into his pocket and pulls out a handful of bills, tucking them into my shirt pocket. Geez, what are you buying? The whole store? He cocks his head in confusion. Well, I reckon there's been enough for some jerky and a cup of joe for each of us. Right. I'll be sure to ask for change, Jess. He just handed me 2 weeks' pay in cash but wants greasy food from a gas station? Go figure. I head inside, noting a few other motorbikes parked nearby on the way over. The shelves are packed with dry goods, all in neat pre-packaged bags. Those products are about the only clean thing in this joint. The dirty linoleum floors are splattered with oil and the stained green paint on the walls has begun to peel. The harsh lighting doesn't help. We're still a welcome respite after wandering the road on foot all night. I grab the jerky Jessie wanted, head towards the front to order the coffees. A couple of people already in line, I queue up behind Colt, who's got something flat tucked under his arm. Hey, find what you wanted? He jumps back startled and glares at me, tucking his arms in front of him. Yeah. What you got there? Nothing, mind your business. Come on, I'm just curious. You know what they say about curiosity. Something about that phrase sparks a fuse in my brain and I glance at the person ahead of us in line. It's Ken. The cat. That's not the full saying, but yeah. 1 cup of coffee, a bag of pistachios, anything else? Yeah, you got the latest issue of Playbird? Yeah, that one. Add that on. Colt's whiskers twitch. Alrighty, here's your change. The D's expression tightens and he squints, giving Ken a once-over. Say, why did you say your name was, son? I didn't. Have a nice day. He's clearly unsatisfied with that answer. The cold feline turns and walks away without another word. Next. Colt dashes towards the counter, leaves me alone to face Ken, who's pretending not to notice me as he sips his coffee. Fuck, this is awkward. And who the hell drinks coffee this late at night anyway? Wait, Jess also wanted some. Is it actually early morning? Ugh, I need to find a clock. This is driving me crazy. I realise Ken's been glaring at me. What now? You done staring? I wasn't. Liar, never seen a black cat before. I've definitely seen a black cat before. Huh. Anyway. God, he's infuriating. Was I trying to save this guy again? Calm down. For all I know, he's just as lost as confused as I am. Need to get his side of the story. So, Ken. He glares at me again. Can we please talk about what happened? He takes a long sip from his paper cup, licking his lips before answering. I have no idea what you're talking about, Speed Bump. Please don't call me that. Look, I straightened my back and woke up a little courage. This might be my last shot at convincing him to listen to me. When I saw you disappear, I thought I'd lost someone important to me. Like the only person with their head on straight was gone before we could figure out what happened to us. So I can't explain how we ended up there or why the others aren't here or why you're acting this way. But for the time being, can we at least be cordial? I know we can figure this out if we work together. He starts to walk over to me. Did it work? Ken? Before I can react, he dumps the rest of his coffee on me. The scalding hot liquid starts burning my head for immediately, and I fall to my knees in pain. I can hear gasps and murmurs from all around me, including the shop clerk yelling for Ken to leave immediately. Between the throbbing in my ears, I hear the slow creak of leather boots next to me. His voice is sharp and breathy. "Leave me alone. I won't say it again." I hear the pitter-patter of smaller boots running towards me as he exits the shop. What the fuck happened? The cat. That bastard. Hold on, here. He starts blotting the liquid away with some kind of waxy paper. Thanks. I think I'm okay. It didn't get on my face. I sit up and see a small crowd of people around me. Colt is holding a soggy-looking magazine up to my face. His worried expression breaks the cool facade he'd held up until now. What's Playbird? I just grabbed whatever nearby to help. More importantly, who the hell was that guy? What's he have it out for you? I have no clue. I brought this on myself. Huh? He helps me up and I lean on his unexpectedly sturdy shoulders. Come on, let's get back to Jesse. I'm sure he's worried by now. All right. We walk back into the parking lot and find Jesse right where we left him. He sets the gas pump back into its holder as he spots us, waving gleefully. Here you guys are. They'll have to send out a search party. Ah, close enough. We got into a scuffle back there. What? He shoots a disappointed look at Colt. Sounds like this isn't the first time. Hey, it wasn't me. Calling it a scuffle is a bit of a stretch, but don't worry, I'm fine now. If you say so, boss. By the way, this guy a friend of yours? He points at something just out of view to our left. I walk up a bit where he's standing. Yeah, it's him. Ken is sitting at the pump across from us, staring down at me from on top of his bike. Ken? Yeah, he's asking about you. Wanting to know if we are cops or not. Hell no, we're not cops. Is there something wrong with being a cop? More importantly, why is he interrogating Jesse about me rather than saying he wants to be left alone? We're not cops. Why are you still here? He looks around uncomfortably, fidgeting in his seat. Well, time to get another fight? You're outnumbered this time. Colt clenches his fist tightly. Jesse presses down on his shoulder, shaking his head. Boy, what is it you want from us? We don't want no trouble. Ken sighs and slacks his shoulders, rolling his head around dramatically, look down at me. Fuck. Look, I'm sorry for before. Any other time. I should have heard you out. If it sounds fucking nuts. I told you to go away because, well, I didn't want the things you were saying to make sense. I wanted that shit to just stay in my head. In his head? But maybe it's a sign or something. Hell, I don't know. This is a load of hooey. Jesse elbows him in the side and nods at Ken, looking to me for confirmation. I think whipping out one of my grandma's isms would be appropriate. Unbelievable shite happens every day. Sometimes we just happen to notice it. I chuckle at my bad Irish accent along with Jesse, while Colt and Ken look unimpressed. That dual glare slowly melts into a gentle smile. You're crazy, you know that? Uh-oh, I wasn't expecting that surprise attack. My little heart. The smile was soon replaced by a look of somber reflection. It's just hard to tell when things are real, sometimes. Jesse loudly clears his throat, breaking the silence. So, what I'm hearing is we got ourselves another travelling companion? Ah, who said that? Oh, it's a lonely place, kid. It'll be just until our next destination. Looks up at the moody cat, eyes showing no fear or hesitation. Say, boy, where is it you're heading, anyway? He looks at me if I'm supposed to answer for him. I just shrug. Ken seems flustered. Does he find Jessie genuinely intimidating? I'm going east. East Coast, or... Sure. Ken. Alright, so they'll be heading the same way for a little while then. Cole grabs Jessie by the collar and pulls him down to whisper in his ear. We seriously need to have a chat later about adding me for our posse, Jess. Yeah, come on then. Let's get going to the next rest point. Reckon we can make it before sunrise and get it all shut-eye. Colt sighs in defeat and hops on his bike. Ken revs his engine. I notice his seat has more room in the back. So... His eyes dart between me and the seat before he returns to his usual glare. Not a fucking chance. I pout, do my best puppy dog eyes. He turns his nose up in the air. Defeated, I hang my head and walk back to Jessie's bike. Come on, it ain't so bad back there, is it? No, I guess not. I don't know how to tell him that if he keeps smothering me with his tail, I'll probably get a hard-on. Colt revs his engine impatiently and speeds off into the dark. We follow suit, Ken taking up the rear. There we go, a shorter video to start off Ken's route in Burrows. And are we going to see Gabe and Hero's roots? Quite possibly. We'll see what happens with that, but I think this is a good one to see a lot of, to get the full story. And I'm certainly enjoying it, so I hope you are too. So this is just a short intro here, because it's still Thursday evening. I've been working all day, so that's why my weekday videos, when I do them, are shorter. I have less time. There is a weekend video coming up, which I'll be recording Sunday afternoon, as I have D&D to run on Saturday. And that, of course, is going to be a liar. And I have to figure out what my title is for that one. I'm still following a process with those titles, and I need to check up what I need to base it on. And also, next week, let's see, we have the edited highlights of Roswell's route in Password to wrap up Password, unless I do the true ending. I'm sorting about that one. And there's some other stuff going on as well. I'm going to try and dip into the May Wolf Jam and do maybe one or two of the shorter ones next week. We'll see how that goes. If you've responded on Twitter, thank you for all your suggestions. It's much appreciated. I'm going to have a look into them when I have a bit more time and see what we're doing there. But I want to do a couple of them at least as we go along. Maybe some through into July as well. That's just about it. Before I go, as always, thank you to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are very much appreciated. And my top donors are Burnt Toast, Kartek, Gobers Visser, Lexi Bucciarati, Lark Huskerton, Bastion, Brian Hall, Tiger Cub, Ida Corval, Anubis Silverwind, Dissonance, Grizz, Spiderling, Kopi, Sindri Dragowolf, Marcus, Evan King, Exac, Aaron Fox, Mohammed Al-Zamel, Andy Peng, Samuto, Omar, Big Booty Judy, Nova Starburn, and Vulpers Need Coffee. Top patrons, thanks especially to you and to everyone else who decides to support the channel. I know you don't have to, and the fact that you choose to means a lot. So, until we return to Liar on the weekend, thanks for watching and have a good time of day. Bye for now.